Hello there and welcome to CSWatch J276, and we are looking at part 2 of cultural issues. So cultural issues, how groups of people might be affected by something because they belong to different groups of religions, from different countries, from different backgrounds. So the digital divide is a massive cultural issue, both in the UK and nationally as well. In the UK, there are cities and towns who have got fantastic network coverage, both in terms of 4G, fibre optic, for internet access, as opposed to rural areas. There's still some places in the UK where you can't get broadband. They're still using a dial-up internet connection. That is 56.6 kilobytes a second. That means it will take about 5 to 6 seconds to load up the BBC website in its entirety. Is that really good enough? No, it's not. Most people, if it's a website, hasn't loaded up within a couple of seconds, they're off elsewhere. Some people don't have the money to purchase new devices or upgrade their connections. Again, we've got a divide in the finances of the country as well. There's the global divide as well. If you think about the internet usage and internet penetration in Europe and compare it to the entire of Africa, it's really different. The divide between our technology, which we access and use daily, compared to Africa is crazy, but there's some initiatives in place. So for example, Mark Zuckerberg's dream of using drone internet access to get Africa online, and the One Laptop Per Child charity, who are trying to get laptops into Africa for them to be able to start accessing technology. Culturally speaking, there are some cultures, some groups who are not able to access the sorts of technology which other people to access, and again, that's called the digital divide. Businesses, subscriptions-based services such as Spotify or Netflix, I'm quite happy to admit that I use both of those and I love those. I think they're great, but they can damage traditional businesses. As soon as Netflix really took off, stores like Blockbusters had to close down. If we think about Spotify, some people are using Spotify more now than local radio stations. Airbnb and Uber allow people to share usage of their car or share usage of their house, to share the things that they own. As a culture, that's where we're going. But then it can damage businesses, it can damage black cabs, it can damage traditional hotels and B&Bs. There's a risk involved for people who are offering those services. Have they got the right insurance? Have they got the right permissions on their rent or their mortgages to be able to do this? And again, it's another cultural issue of using technology and how we're going to be using technology in such a way. Is it for a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And again, think back to those stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders for these? What are they all about? How are these stakeholders? How do they get impacted? So, cultural issues are something how groups of people belong to different groups, religions or countries might be affected by something. And I keep talking about the stakeholders. You need to make sure you keep referring back to the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? If you think, oh no, that's really obvious. If you think about Netflix, a stakeholder, someone use the internet, still make sure you put that down. Make sure you're clear enough to be saying what it is that you're talking about. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at cultural issues, and I shall see you again on another video. See you later.